In an excerpt from the show catalog, Keeler states the following regarding this exhibit. The title of this exhibition, Heliodelic Topography, may require some explanation, as I'm sure it is not a term that most are familiar with or use at all. I certainly had not heard the term until I read something similar in a review of an artist's work where she referred to her paintings as having a certain heliotropic quality. She was also pointing out the viewer's tendency to go toward or look at the lightest area in a given painting. Heliodelic is similar to the term psychedelic and brings to mind the heightened awareness or delight in the visual. So, heliodelic is construed by me as taking delectation in the visual representation of the play of sunlight as it describes forms. Of course, there are other sources of light in my paintings, such as nocturnes with moonlight or man-made electric light. But still, the leitmotif, as it were, in my work is a depiction of light, and often the dramatic light of late afternoon or early morning, known in the movie world as the golden hour.
I'm Jim Mullen. I'm an artist and a retired college art teacher, Surioniana. After I saw Brian's paintings, this one in particular, I drove over to Wyalusing to look at the location. Of course, it was a different time of year, but it was very instructive in that the location is what it is, but it's vastly different than Brian's paintings. I think Brian's paintings, this one in particular, are sort of like a perfect day. If you walk out on a day like today even, in which the sun is shining and you think, boy, life is good, everything is so nice. And that even lends what I feel is a certain pantheistic quality to his paintings, in which you start to think, well, God got it right, particularly when he made nature as it is, and then Brian is so dependent upon color and light, the light from nature, and it does so much to enrich the scene and enrich the viewer's sense of the scene, all of which is very pleasurable. So if you do go to Wyalusing, it's very interesting to find the actual locale and note the invention that the artist does and how he creates magnificent compositions by rearranging and so on. For instance, this street actually drops down. It's on the other side of the road. It doesn't drop quite that much in reality, but it becomes a very dramatic element. Also, getting back to the pantheistic stuff, it sort of drops off into a kind of an infinity. We go down through this beautiful perspective, and we get a real sense of traveling somewhere wonderful, really, and knowing that over the hill there'll be either another great scene or maybe another Brian Keeler painting awaiting us. I want to emphasize the importance of seeing original art. I mean, there are magnificent reproductions of so many great things on the internet and so on, but the size of the work is important. This is a small painting, and when you look at certain things like a beautiful green brushstroke on top of a darker green value, it just so enhances your experience of both the scene and the place, and the skill of the artist and his invention with color. I looked at this painting in reproduction a lot, and there's so many things that you cannot see in reproduction. For instance, there's some scaffolding or architectural detail here in the building which adds such zest to that passage of painting, and you don't see that in any kind of reproduction. And so you've got to read a painting in terms of the texture, the pattern, the color, all the aspects of the painting that the artist seems to be juggling, like spheres in the air, and that's always great fun. But the trick is to make sure it all comes together, and that takes an artist.